My name's Scott Allgyer, and I was the Fundraising Champion for the 16th Annual Dancing for the Stars, which supports the Overture Awards, which is sponsored by the Cincinnati Arts Association. Most of my career was actually in healthcare. I worked in medical sales with Eli Lilly and Company out of Indianapolis, and then retired within the last year and a half and threw myself into a business that my husband and I opened up 6 months ago, and that's in downtown Cincinnati, called Studio 900 Salon and Spa. Dancing for the Stars, which I found out was sponsored by the Cincinnati Arts Association. I had a friend and colleague, Tracy Scale, who was invited to dance and ultimately was the winner of the 2012, I believe, competition. And we would joke with one another that one day I should do that. And in 2024, she nominated me and I accepted. So that was my entree into the Cincinnati Arts Association Dancing for the Stars. But what really got me is the double click into what it was there for and sponsoring the Overture Awards. And doing some of my own research, I come to realize in talking to family and starting to invite them that my own nephew, Matthew, who went to St. Xavier High School, won it in 2008 in visual arts. And he actually came out of that. He's an introverted kid, so he came out with a lot more pride and confidence. And it ultimately led him to go to DAP at UC and become a graphic designer. And he's now 10 years into a very successful graphic design career. So for me, that was equally as important as to the novelty of being invited as a celebrity dancer. So it ended up being kind of two-pronged. One, getting the most attendance that we could at the actual event. The second part was, if they couldn't attend, how do we get the maximum number of donations? And the message had to include what the Arts Association was trying to do with the Overture Awards, the history. And we all know that people are having a lot of people asking them for donations and money. So if you're not really clear with your message and touch the heartstrings, your chances go down. So we knew we had to do both of those. The last thing that was probably most unique to our business, since we're a salon, is we had a raffle at the front desk for 2 months, and we had a basket of luxury salon items, and we also had dancing lessons from my professional partner, Mara Gruzio, and people paid $10 a ticket, and then we had drawings that was basically the week of the competition. So between attendance, donations, and the raffle, I think that's what brought things together to raise, I think it was about $17,000. I went through the website and I saw you almost had 6 different initiatives on education and community outreach, which to me, Overture being one facet of it, I was equally affected by all the things that I knew kids were able to do through your programs, because that's what I did when I was a kid. And it kept art kind of tied to my own family history of art alive and well. And it got me thinking, I really need to keep this in my life going forward. When it's not being offered to me as a field trip, I need to make my own field trips and do these kind of events, and for my family and future kids or grandkids. Personally, because I have experience with the arts in my own family, I know the value of them. So to project that out into the broader community in Cincinnati or the world, the first thing is self-expression. The arts gives them a way to create something beautiful and put something out in the world that's never been out there before. That is what the essence of creativity is what would we be like if we didn't have The Wizard of Oz, if we didn't have Wicked, if we didn't have Monet's, if we didn't have Van Gogh. Just imagine life without all of these things that were created by somebody and put out into the universe for others to enjoy and learn from. So self-expression is probably the most important thing when I think about the individual. And then finally, I mentioned as an engineer, it helps you think outside the box and have critical thinking, because when you're creating something new, you have to first come up with the concept. And if it's a concept that's never been created before, right then, that defines thinking outside of the box. You know, I read through the 2023 annual report, and I saw between Music Hall and Aronoff over 670,000 attendees. And of course, those aren't all unique, because we know multiple people come back. But I would say even if 400,000 of those were unique, in a city of 2 million, that means Cincinnati Arts Association is affected just with Aronoff, 1 in 5 people in the city. And then throw on top of that, Music Hall at 215,000 attendees. It says Cincinnati cares about the arts. Just very much enjoyed the experience of working with the CAA.